What's up, all you young dragons out there? I'm Duuz-Diz-Din coming at you with another chapter of Fairy Tale 100 Years Quest. This time it's chapter 21 titled Burn It All, as Natsu has been confronted by the true son of Igniel. So this son, the true son of Igniel, the fire god dragon, has come to confront Igniel, and naturally Natsu's like, bullshit. If Igniel had an actual son, I would know it. But dude's basically just like, dragons don't really work like that. It's just like once you breed, you move on. We don't give into all that human sentimentality. Igniel never transformed into a human because, that's a kind of form of thing that certain dragons just don't do to a certain extent. It's not uncommon for a dragon to never see their father after they are born and all that good stuff. You might know who your father is, but you don't really give a shit about any of that crap. And, ultimately, when Igniel went into the future with some kid, it's not like the fire god dragon, really, it was any skin off his nose, basically, is what he's saying. And ultimately, 400 years ago, they had escaped to the continent of Giltana to escape Acnologia, which I immediately kind of call suspicion into, because it's just like, you mean Acnologia was just trolling around one continent this entire time? I figured he was like traveling the world and stuff like that. That's why we didn't see him that often. But you think that if one singular being, one dragon, were just roaming around the earth, that humanity would have some inkling as to who Acnologia is. But no, nobody really knew too much about Acnologia, which immediately makes that suspect if he was only hanging around one continent. And his destructive power in all of that, the fact that he was going around wiping out dragons, and if it was just that only like 5 dragons had actually had the wherewithal to actually flee from the original continent, you think more dragons would have done that as well. And if dragons can gain that much power over time, the world must be full with highly powerful, highly competent dragons. Because from what this dude is saying, it makes it seem like all he had to do was just power up. Just wait around and power up. That's literally how Igniel makes it sound. Like, it doesn't sound like he actually put any effort into this. It's like, how are you strong then? How is it that you're this powerful? If it's just that you grew more powerful over time to the point where you could rival Acnologia. It's just, it raises too many questions. But, Igniel says that he wanted to challenge Acnologia, not to avenge his father, but to prove his own strength. And when he heard that, Acnologia was felled by the hands of not just any dragon slayer, but the son of Igniel, the other son of Igniel, he's just like, oh, okay, Natsu Dragneel must be one badass dude. But now he's just like, you just teamed up with a bunch of other dragon slayers to take him down, which he did, it makes sense. And Natsu delivers the whole, my friends are my power bullshit, and Igniel calls him out on this. It's just like, yeah, but that's stupid. I'm calling you out to a one-on-one fight, mono e drag mono. So, but you're not even worth my time. You're not really showing me anything that impresses me for the most part. It's just like, maybe what I need to do is kill off a couple of your friends to actually get the right rise out of you. And it's just like, yeah, he's just kind of trying to prompt a response out of Natsu. Who, Natsu being the simpleton that he normally is, the lovable simpleton that he always is, immediately takes the bait and throws a punch. But Igni is just like, okay, so your emotions are what get to you. So it's obvious that you know this whole song and dance. If you've come this far, you know this song and dance. Igni is not as bad as he's letting on. He's just interested in a throwdown and wants to bond with someone who, ultimately Ignia thought was so important, so he just wants to test them out or something along those lines. We'll get some kind of heartfelt moment where they bond for a little bit, and then something will happen to Ignia. He'll either die off or they'll just move on from him, and there you go. Like, I'm being very dismissive about this whole chain of events, but that just feels like the way it's going. It feels like the usual fairy tale song and dance. And don't get me wrong, Ignia is making me kind of hyped for him and Natsu to throw down, but at the same time, I feel like I already know what's going to happen. I'll enjoy watching it, but it just feels like I already know. But, Ignia's just like, hey, got all that rage in your belly, just, point that at Mercuphobia. Otherwise he's actually going to kill your friends. And then he just pieces out, turns into a dragon and leaves. So it's obvious that he just wanted to lend a hand to Natsu. I don't buy into this bad boy, like, oh yeah, I just came to see if I could off you or something like that. It's not like I'm actually trying to help you out, Baka. It's so obvious. And apparently no one heard this. No one heard any of this, because they come running to Natsu, trying to see if he's okay, not having heard anything except for Happy. And they're just like, well, Happy's just like, okay, we'll explain it later, but I said Natsu needs to eat the flames in order to power up enough to take on Mercuphobia. And everyone's just like, okay, cool, do it. But Natsu's being absent. He's just like, I don't want to eat that asshole's flames. And everyone's just like, no, we're not doing this. We're not going through this, bravado or, puffing out your chest, all this bullshit. You're going to eat those goddamn flames, and you're going to beat that dragon's ass. So, reluctantly, Natsu just devours all of Ignia's, flames and stuff like that, and he just immediately powers up into Dragon Force. He's got what looks similar to the Godslayer flames that from that one dude whose name I don't remember from the, guild who invaded Tenryu Island. I am just completely... Hades? No, that was the master. I'm really just drawing a blank on their guild name. But, similar to that. He's got this, it looks like the Amaterasu flames. The flames so hot they burn black and all that good stuff. And Natsu just immediately powers up and immediately goes in. Decks Mercuphobia in the face with an explosive punch. And it's just like, he just starts wailing on the dude. Even going so far as to just suplex Mercuphobia right then and there, and it's just like, okay, this fight is done. It's over. Whatever. Moving on. And it's unfortunate because I was hoping to see more, and then we have this old commentary by Lucy who's just like, for the first time ever, Natsu's flame scared me. I'm just like, Natsu's flame should have scared you long before this. When he melted the Colosseum after that time skip where Fairy Tail was shut down for a little while, and everyone went their separate ways, and then Natsu came back to involve himself in the Grand Magic Games, and he burned down the very Colosseum just by, being there. It's just like, yeah, his flames would have scared me at that point at the very least. But it's just like, I don't know. I want to enjoy this, but it's just, it's not doing it for me in certain aspects. It's just like, it's fun enough, but when you think about it critically, it's just like, what now? What does that say about Mercuphobia if it just took Natsu ingesting Ignia's flames? Not even really his power, but his flames in order to power him up to this state. What does it say about how far Natsu's gonna have to come in order to take down Ignia? It's just like, how powerful are each of the holy pentadrakes if Natsu now has the power to, basically start bullying one of them like it's WWE. Like, it really just raises so many questions, and I don't feel like it's going to get a satisfying answer. So ultimately, I feel like my best bet is just sit back, relax, shut the fuck up, and stop thinking about it so much. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Son of Ignia, that's pretty cool turn of events. It sounds like it'll be fun enough, but in terms of actual substance, I don't feel like it's gonna be there. But hey, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you feel like this power-up is warranted, or do you feel that it just doesn't quite live up to what you were hoping for when they talked about taking on the holy pentadrakes? And what do you think about Ignia, the fire god dragon, and how he powered up by waiting several hundred years? Like, I don't know. But if you liked this video, feel free to leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below. And hey, how about subscribing? Because I'll definitely continue to bring more red hot episode reviews of Fairy Tail, The 100 Years Quest. But until then, beware of falling dragons.